Hi, listeners, and welcome back to The Good Pod. Today, I'm joined by someone who's made a big impression in a very short amount of time, Johnny, our leathercraft workshop volunteer. Johnny first toured the village just a few months ago and jumped right in, offering hands-on workshops that have quickly become a favorite, especially among our male neighbors. He brings all of his tools, he generously shares his skills, and hopes to one day see one of the neighbors turn leatherworking into a business, and we're so grateful that he continues to show up and share his craft. Johnny, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Let's start from the beginning. How did you first hear about Goodness Village?
Well, I'm actually good friends with one of the neighbors here. Known him for years. We go to coffee together almost every morning. And so I had heard about the village without knowing a lot about it from him for several years. But more recently, another fellow that I know, I belong to a walking group with, Ray, told me that he was volunteering down here, just giving some of his time. And in listening to him talk about it, I thought, that would be really cool to maybe see how I could help too. So that's kind of how it all started.
And a lot of people hear about the village, they hear about the population that we serve, but they don't always take the extra step into volunteering even after we give them a tour or answer all their questions. Mm-hmm. So what made you want to take that extra step and volunteer?
Well, I'm getting up in age, and sometimes you think about your life and you wonder what the heck you've done that makes a difference, and sometimes you realize there's a lot more you could do. I guess somewhere inside of me was hoping to find something I could get involved with and make a difference. And Ray is a very enthusiastic and very credible person, and hearing him talk about what he was doing here, just coming here and offering rides and things, transportation, just said, hey, maybe I could do something. So that's how I decided to start.
And you don't normally work with the formerly unhoused or unhoused population. So how has your experience been? Have you had any maybe misconceptions that have been debunked or anything that you came in with that's no longer true?
I don't think so. I kind of keep it real. I understand at some level some of the issues why people end up not housed. The village, I guess, is a twist that is a positive one in my mind, in that it really is trying to do something to make a difference in the lives of people that otherwise might not have a place to stay. So this is a positive experience, and I think could be a model for a lot of things, trying to help people that are down on their luck.
Mm-hmm. So you offer leather workshops here for all of our neighbors, but has specifically been popular with our male population. And as the community engagement manager, it's my job to bring in resources for the neighbors. And the guys are always asking for more quote unquote manly activities around here. So we did a leather workshop and it was a big success. And why do you think that the leather workshops have resonated so well with the neighbors?
Well, I guess you'd have to probably ask them for a better answer. From my perspective, the few that have participated probably is because they like to work with their hands. At some level, it interested them. I'm guessing that's why they came. I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask them. Mm. I saw it as one of the things that I could offer. I've done leatherworking myself for quite a while on a limited basis, not big stuff. But when I was talking to Ray about ways that I might get involved, the thought crossed my mind. Well, I've got tools, I've got material, I've got a little bit of background. I wonder if that would work. And that's when I got a hold of you, and we started the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And can you share a little bit about how you got into leathercraft working?
Yeah, well, it's kind of an offshoot of another hobby. I retired 20 years ago, and for some reason, I got interested in watches. I started collecting watches. And as I got into that hobby quite a bit, I realized that part of that hobby is changing out straps to to wear different things on your watch just to change things up. And I saw a video about, I guess, 15 years ago where a guy did a little tutorial on a video on a YouTube about how to make a strap. So I decided to try it. And at first I made really junky stuff. And then I started kind of offering it and giving it away to friends as they became aware of it. And then they wanted to buy it, and they wanted to trade me stuff for it, and it just kept growing. And after a while, people were actually asking me to make them straps and offering me good money for it. So it became like a little side hustle for me, a little side job that actually could generate more money to buy more watches. So that's kind of, and then I started making other small stuff like pouches and bags and backpacks and things like that.
And for those of you who are listening who have never had the opportunity to see some of these leathercraft goods, I have not shut up about the backpacks around here. All I do is talk about your leather backpack that you brought here for the first time. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And so you mentioned that you kind of turned it into a side hustle without you even trying to. And something from the beginning of this workshop was that you would love to see one of our neighbors turn this into a small business or a side hustle. So what kind of potential do you see in the work that you're teaching them here?
Well, that's yet to reveal itself, I think. The few workshops we've had, people have learned basic stuff. At one of them, we actually put together. They put together wallets for themselves, and I had to do a lot of the prep, kind of do the pre-cutting and stuff like that. But they assembled it and stitched it and finished it off. So, I think that that's a growing thing, and it's yet to be revealed. I don't know. I don't know where it'll go. I didn't, at this point when I was starting, after just a few weeks, I had no idea where I was going with it when I started my own stuff. But based on just my interest in how it was working with my other hobby, I just kept going. And it was probably several months before I realized this is really something that could turn into something. So that's yet to reveal itself here. I don't know where it's going to go. I hope it goes somewhere.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Even if they could just make leathercraft goods for the other neighbors, that would be great too.
Yeah. I just turned 80. And so my leathercraft is kind of slowed down. I'm not actively buying watches and selling straps anymore. So I've got this whole bunch of material and a few hand tools and stuff that I've wondered, what am I going to do with this? It's just sitting there. And my dream would be that someone here would really pick it up, and I would gladly, somehow give it to you guys at the village here as a resource that's available for whoever would want to use it here. So kind of that's one of my hopes in going into this, that at some point there's enough interest here and enough people here that we could just somehow find a workplace here. You guys have the material here and the tools, and people can come and make their own stuff and for whatever purpose, to share, to give away, to sell. Whatever. I don't know what they would do with it.
It sounds like we're manifesting a leather workshop room in our community center. So we're going to put that in the air right now.
That would be great. It really doesn't take a lot. It takes a sturdy table or two, and a few basic hand tools. By the way, all my work is by hand. So, there's growth beyond that where people want to start sewing with a sewing machine, for example. The production would go way up. Of course, you lose the charm or whatever, the beauty of handmade goods, but it's still a good product that probably could be sold or could be shared. So, let's see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. And bringing it back to the neighbors in your workshop specifically, is there a moment or interaction from your time at the village that's resonated with you or kind of stuck with you? I know you've only been here for a short time, but I would love to know.
Well, it's a kind of a general statement that I would describe for all the times I've been here. It particularly hit home last time I was here, and that is just the closeness, the intimacy with which you get with the neighbor. Mm-hmm. Like you sit right across the table, you're face to face, and you're showing them how to cut or how to stitch or how to something, and there's enough time to really just talk to them about other things. And it really came home. I don't know if it's okay to mention the neighbor. Jim and I were alone last time at the workshop. And we sat there, and I got to know him at a level that I think was really cool for me. And I left away with kind of a bittersweet. So, okay, it was only one guy, not much exposure. But then I thought, yeah, but I got to know him at another level. And quite honestly, if I could make the difference in the life of one neighbor only, but a significant, you know, difference, that would be a dream for me. If I could do it with more than one, that'd be a bigger dream. That's like a fantasy, I guess, but it's still a dream. So I think that's what I've gotten the most out of, just the intimate one-on-one. And you have time to talk, and you have time to ask them about themselves and their lives and where they're from and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
And now you're making an impact on their lives beyond just teaching them a new skill or a new trade. You're really
I hope so.
impacting them personally.
I hope so. I don't know. I hope so. I haven't really interfaced with them beyond being at the workshop. So yes, again, that's still something that's going to be revealed to me anyway. At some point, if see where this is going in their lives and in their head. So I'd be interested seeing if it has that effect. That'd be the ultimate goal for me.
I love that you mentioned it was a bittersweet feeling, and you were very honest about that, because only one person showed up to the workshop, but you were able to have such an intimate interaction with him.
Yeah.
And if maybe 15 people had shown up, you wouldn't be able to have that kind of bond, because maybe he wouldn't have wanted to open up, or he wouldn't have felt comfortable talking about certain things around so many people.
Yeah, that's excellent the way you describe that, because at the other workshops, even when there's only 3, 4, 5, you're kind of really jumping around a little from one to the other and just really focused on the task. And yeah, you get a little chit chat going, but not like when there's only one or two, and you can really focus and talk and have that kind of conversation with them. Yeah, that was cool. I like that. Jim is a cool guy.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
I
Jim.
hope you're listening to this, Jim. We think you're cool.
I hope he hears this too. You're a cool guy, Jim.
So for people who are listening who maybe are on the fence about volunteering, especially when they've never worked in this kind of setting, or maybe they're used to working with bigger groups of people and they may only get one or two neighbors to come to their workshops, what would you encourage them to help them take that extra step?
Well, at some point you just gotta take the jump, take the plunge. You got to. If you think that there's anything there, and quite honestly, I'm kind of selfish in a way, because I'm doing it as much for myself as I am for them. I think this is just something that makes me feel good and gives me a little bit of purpose. And I know there's a lot of people after we retire that we're looking for things to be involved in, and we're looking for ways to make a difference. And why not this? Take a chance.
You guys heard it here.
Did that answer your question?
No, that was great. You guys heard it. If you're retired, please hit me up. We have lots of stuff for you to do here.
Man, old people, we got time. We got a lot of time, and hopefully we have some heart too.
And my final question for you, Johnny, is what does being a good neighbor mean to you?
Well, like I said, it's at the early stages. It's pretty much the same as you would with any other relationship. We live with other humans and we interact with other humans, and hopefully at the end of the day, you're better because of it, and they're better because of it, and hopefully that's what'll happen here too at some level, either with one or a few or many.
And as you continue to volunteer here and spend more time with the neighbors, you're going to see firsthand the impact that you're having.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I just also feel like I need to say this. This idea of finding a way to provide a roof over their heads and some grounding is just such a magnificent idea. I mean, we all know what the problems are in this country with so many people that don't have a place like this to spend the night and that sort of thing. And I know this wouldn't be the solution for everybody that's out there, but it's one of the solutions. And I just love the idea, and I know you're going to expand. I love that idea, and I would love to see this be duplicated in other places too. I mean, it's great.
Well, thank you very much for saying that.
Yep.
Johnny, thank you so much for sharing your time with our neighbors, your tools and all your supplies, and all of your talent with us. And thank you for jumping in so wholeheartedly from the very beginning. I know that you're not used to working with this population, but I really couldn't even tell because everyone loves you here so much. They're always asking about when's the next workshop, what are we going to make, when's Johnny coming back. So I hope that you know that you've already had an impact in such a short amount of time.
Cool. Good to know. Thank you.
As always, listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to The Good Pod, share this conversation with your community, and stay tuned for more stories. And remember, being a good neighbor isn't about where you live, it's about how you show up. Until next time, listeners. Thank you for listening to the Goodness Village podcast. Production and recording was done by the Goodness Village operations team with support from Crosswinds Church. Music was provided by Blue Dot Sessions. If you want to know more about Goodness Village, visit us at gvlivermore.org. Thanks again for listening to The Good Pod.